time, one more time, one more time.
Why don't you start something?
Why not start something? I don't know.
What about let's talk about what's going on today.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I ain't gonna start that. I ain't here for no problems, bro.
What do you think about that? Everything going
Oh,
on?
good question. What do you mean specifically?
The whole,
Okay, so I have a certain point of view about everything. So I'll start politically, I guess. This is the political section. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So so I am. I don't want to put a label on it, so I won't say that. But I hate the state in general. I don't think that we should burn it down and all that other stuff. I'm not a nihilist like that. But just looking at the way that the founders thought about the country, I think that the state getting bigger and bigger is just not good. And I think that both parties continue to let it get bigger and bigger for their own gain over the years. You know what I mean? Like, for example, you think about all the wars that they lied us through since Vietnam, and that's a good. And one of the presidents, I forget who it was. I think it was Eisenhower. Was it? I don't know. He said when he was leaving that there's going to be a military-industrial complex if we keep on getting into these wars, and it hasn't stopped. And that was like what, in the 60s,
Yeah,
late
because it's
50s?
A moneymaker.
Exactly. So, in both parties, right? Both parties been voting for war since forever. That's So I'm going to get to the point what's going on now, but just politically where I stand, and then I'll go into specifics. So I don't have allegiance to any of these fools because, in my opinion, the Republican Party, they say they believe like the small government stuff, but then again, it's been big government. What the Patriot Act? Which president signed that in? It was a Republican president, right? Bush. You know what I mean? Less government. Now they can listen to everything. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into all of that because people think that's conspiratorial, but it's not. It's actually true.
I agree.
Yeah, of course. So that's how I look at the state in general, and I don't think those parties have answers for anybody. And I think that the politicians and the leaders of our time have done shady stuff from the time when civil rights happened and we were all kind of really just integrating in this country, and this is what they get, and this is the result of what the lies and the things that they have done. Like they as much as you disagree with the Black Panthers or whatever, they violated those cats' civil rights. You're going against what America stands for in the name of America. You can't do that, and if you do that to people and people can see it, they're not going to trust you anymore. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is.
And I agree. I think they've all been in bed together. The Republican, but
my point is that the citizens are going off what the leaders are doing, and even though there's specific things that are happening now, but this has been boiling up since back then. And remember, now at the age of the internet, the reason why people are being like this because now they can find it out easily, not like it was when we were growing up. So are we going to continue to let these people, you know what I mean? Like, again,
I think right now though we're in a real detrimental time.
I agree. That's why I'm doing this.
I mean, and the reason why is because if you look at where the Democratic Party has gone, I mean, they're going way left.
You think so?
I mean, you want to talk about big government? I mean, when you look at Cuba, Venezuela, all of them. The way that
you're
everything,
talking about like socialism. Yeah.
They're all leaning to the left that much, and we got to be careful as a country. We need to make sure that doesn't happen because if not, I mean, it's the same way that happened to Venezuela. It's the same way it happened to Cuba. I mean, it continually they want to defund police. They want to give you free health care. Where does all that come from?
Yeah, no, I get it.
We get taxed 50% of your check. I mean, you come from Canada.
No, I get it. No, and I would say this, that to me, if you look at Joe Biden, like you say the Democrats, but then when I look at Joe Biden, for example,
he's a Trojan.
He wrote the 94 crime bill, right? But Kamala Harris has also been a strict prosecutor too. So my point is that my point is this, is that not just to knock them down but to say that doesn't sound like way left. That sounds like still kind of like center left politicians. You know what I'm trying to say? I do understand like the AOCs and people like that. There are socialist Democrats, but remember, most of the Democrats are kind of shoved them to the side. Other than if it can get them votes, so then they let them do the social media stuff. You know what I mean? So my point is, I don't look at the whole party as like that. I'm a registered Democrat, but that's for another reason. But like, because I'm really a libertarian. But because I'm voting against Trump. I'm gonna say it straight up. But But what was I gonna say? Yeah.
Well, I'm a Trump supporter.
Yeah, no, I know. You're my boy, and I love you, and that's what it is. And you know what I mean? And it's funny, and this is the funny thing, and I didn't plan it out this way, but the fact that people could hear everything that happened before, that you said beforehand, and then hear that you're a Trump supporter is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. But at the beginning.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with you on everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I know that you have a heart that wants to help people. You know what I mean? Definitely. And again, and if I ever want you to change to my mindset, I have to do this. That's not what I'm trying to, you know what I'm trying to say? But if I ever want, it's not that's my main goal. It's not.
Yeah, no,
but if I ever did, I gotta focus on the things that are positive.
But this is what friends do. At the end of the day, we gotta live. We're family, like we said before. You know, that's important to me. I'm not gonna let a political stance get in the way of me being angry or bothered to not be loving towards my family. You know, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, no, and I do, 1,000%. And again, I don't hate, like how everybody hates Trump. I'm not like that either. You know what I mean? Like I just think him being in there just causes more unrest, and I don't think it's gonna stop if he's in there. Now, again, what would I have to make a choice out of the two. That's kind of where I go with it. But
I just want to tell you what I think of that. The unrest comes because of what the media has done. It has nothing to do with him, because if you look at him, he's given millions of dollars to black colleges. He's lowered the unemployment rate for blacks and Hispanics. I mean, he's done a lot. More than Obama did as a black president.
And I get it, and I get it, but I'm not the one that's trying to blame Trump. What I'm saying is, what we need is more than that, obviously, because that happened, and look where we're at. As far as like a society, as far as like the heart of who we're supposed to be, and that's not his aim at all. You know, I don't trust him, so I don't think that's his aim at all. And I think he's proven that through, time and time again. But my whole thing is that. Yeah, first of all, I don't want to blame. It's not about blaming Trump. It's about this government in general. Like, going back to what I was saying from the beginning, this government in general, that like allowing no-knock raids, and how that started. You can look into how that started. That was violating people's rights, and especially poor people, and then especially colored people, because at that time now they're the poor people. You know what I mean? If you let that go on and let these and what was happening, because remember, think about the drug war. The whole drug war is bullcrap. Did you ever hear about that? Anything about that? Reagans and all of that. All of that was lies. It was to scare people. What I'm saying is, if you do that, and then you think about all the young black males from when you were growing up to all the way to now that have been going through that system over, and not only that, then you're in jail, and then you're learning, and you go back on the streets, and now you're a terror in your own streets because of the justice system, because you overreached to try to get votes. You know what I mean? Because everything's unsafe. This drug thing, again, the media, even back then. So I understand what you're saying, but the media has always been. That's why I'm like, it's not. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not about Trump. What I'm saying is that the policies that have been in our government. Now people like I said, they're watching documentaries. There's activists out there telling you. Now and then some of that stuff is wrong. I agree with you. I don't agree with every activist about everything. But then when you look at the history of those laws, you're like, yeah, those things are true. So even if I don't agree 100% with Black Lives Matter activists, like that stuff is true, and it needs to be changed, because that's why those people are mad. If you change those things, no-knock raids, the drug war, all criminalizing marijuana, all that stuff and because the field that we used to work in. Some people didn't need jail. You know what I'm trying to say? They needed treatment. But I was saying, bro, did you know that I could pull out a quote right now, that when they in the 80s, when they were starting the drug war, they said, they're doing methadone. That's not what that's treatment. And talking about, and it was the Attorney General, somebody in Reagan's cabinet. He said He's like, that's not what we do anymore. We're locking people up. They decided, they plainly in front of us decided that that's what they're gonna do. And what they did was they made people be afraid of druggies and black people and all. And so the thing is, if a government keeps on doing that, and then the injustice is in your face every
like Biden
day.
with the crime bill.
And then Biden was a part of it. I'm not putting him out like saying again. He was a part of it. That's my point of both parties. But what I'm saying is, and. I understand. Of course. So the people.
But this is why I think that.
But listen, the government has power, right? The people don't. Because when you see the people going crazy, and I understand the media's riling them up and all that stuff, but still, the media isn't the problem. The problem is that people are still getting killed off these laws. That's more of a bigger problem. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, and I get it, but I'm just keeping it real.
No. Listen, don't be afraid. This is us. Nobody's gonna get mad.
But if we go, you yourself, if you right now go and you go through Fort Pierce, you'll be more scared than if you're going to drive through Jupiter. Yes or no?
Depends if there's cops in Jupiter, bro.
Yes or no?
Depends if there's cops in Jupiter.
No, I'm just saying, period. Going through the hood. And it's the same thing
for sure. But how did it get there?
But what I'm telling you is the same thing. As a police officer, they're already going on edge. Even though they're trained, they're still on edge because, man, my life is more in danger here than it is there.
Yeah, but what I meant was it depends if there's cops in the rich neighborhood because they may see me riding through the rich neighborhood. Yeah. But see, your point is this.
No, I know what you were saying.
But that's the problem.
But listen, but at the end of the day, also, you're going to respond in the right way when you get pulled over.
Listen, no, you're right. But again, why are those laws even there to put somebody and regular citizens that really aren't doing anything in that position?
That's one thing. I think that labeling, it's like we were talking about prejudice. It's in our own races.
No.
It's hard to change your mind or anybody.
I get it, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to change people's hearts and minds. What I'm saying is, if you change the laws, they won't be able to do that. Like police officers, that's just one option, that one subject, but police officers example. Yeah. Things that have hurt white people too in this country.
Of course. But again, for instance, like even that last thing, as a cop, if you see somebody going in your car, going to grab something after you try to tase him and you had a fight with him, are you supposed to wait for him to come out with a gun or whatever?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. But again, remember.
But these are the things that they're portraying in the news to make people get unrest.
I honestly, I 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But again, I think that and maybe if you could bring another point of view in, but like.
Do minorities get harassed a little more? I believe so. But as far as killed, 9 black unarmed men got killed last year.
I understand.
Only 9. And they make it where it's, they want to put that divide between the black and white community.
I get it.
And this is what's happening.
I think there's truth to that. I think it's like where you get like people rallying people up as far as like the facts about things, because what the media needs is to click. So they need you they need the headline, they need you to click on it because that's how they get paid. They need you to watch the show. So that's like their I don't say game, like that's their game. That's what they do. So I do 100% agree with that. But again, like the way I look at it is even those laws are putting police officers in bad positions.
You said it before. They're all in cahoots with each other, the Republican and the Democratic Party. When Trump came in, this is why I have respect for Trump, and I'm just saying, when he came in, he wasn't political. He wasn't on any side. And that's why they both hated him. They were scared. Remember, Trump was never considered a racist until he ran as a Republican. He chilled with Puff Daddy, chilled with Snoop Dogg, chilled with all these guys. And they all loved him. What's his name? Al Sharpton. Plenty of times.
Well, it wasn't that they were chilling. They just saw him in a public spot and you taking a picture. I get what you're saying.
They used to invite him to the parties in New York City.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Because we grew up there and I still remember that.
Oh, so you're saying, it's kind of like in cahoots is what you're saying,
But as soon as he ran, and now, wait a minute. This guy, we can't buy him off.
Yeah, but we gotta understand.
We can't buy him off. And I think that's where all everybody, the media, because they're bought by the Democrats and Republicans, the deep state.
I think that I can't think that way because I asked a lady, a woman that lives in Fort Pierce. She grew up in Fort Pierce. Her dad actually ran the first like black-owned like textile place. She used to have to go in the back just to serve people on the couch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I used to work with her, and she grew up in Fort Pierce. I just started asking her her story because that's what I am. You know, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And and that was at the time when did Trump win yet? It was around the time I think he did win. And when I talked to her, she said, I know racism when I see it. So and it wasn't like this irrational thing. It wasn't that she was just watching the news or anything like that. As far as this woman, like, and I can't remember exactly what she said, but what she shared with me at that moment, I was like, okay, cool. And I took it that way. So now I can't have that mentality. Like, my point is, it was also what he said that people reacted to it, not just the news. They just watched what he said, and they had that reaction the same as the news. Now, again, I'm not defending the news.
Because that's what the news is taking clips.
Well, I don't know.
They're taking clips and they put it so they could look like he's the bad guy.
No, I get it. But remember, there's some stuff that, like the MS-13 thing, yeah, they did that. But then there's some stuff like that he said. I can't even remember anything
Even the whole Charlottesville thing.
Yeah, the Charlotte. Yeah.
They took that.
I agree.
He denounced.
Yeah, because before he denounced, 10 minutes before he said that thing, he said he denounces all white supremacy.
Yeah.
And I understand that the news does do that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like he's on Twitter all day saying crazy stuff. The whole Juneteenth thing, like acting like he didn't know what that was. Like, there's things that, the reason I think he does it because he knows if when he puts his finger in the eyes of those type of people, his voters get hyped, and that's the thing that I see that is evil. It's like you're doing it for power, bro. You're playing with our society, with the fabric with our society, and just the thin veneer of peace that we have for votes, and that's where I'm at with him. It's like I can't get it, and even with the Republicans letting that happen, I'm like, you guys aren't even conservative. You guys are lost. I don't know what.
But he's got a big majority of black people. You know that.
No,
right?
I do. I understand. This is my point of view. I get it. But what I'm saying is that,
I think
that it's
realize
hard for me when
he's done a lot for their community. So.
My thing is when I hear somebody reasonable say something to me that convince me, I can't. I'm like, no, I can't look at that the same way. You know what I mean? Because that person was reasonable. This lady was a therapist. She, you know what I mean? She's not. You know what I mean?
I guess I see Trump as a New Yorker, and he's off the cuff, and he's always. That's how he speaks to. He's not a politician.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people expect from him.
No, well, I don't think that's what that's what they expect from every president. You're right.
Exactly. And I think he does. Mm-hmm. You're gonna throw something at me, I'm throwing it back at you.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people kind of.
Of course, and that's what I mean. But the thing is that I feel like it's a failed experiment. You know what I mean? Because look, I mean, again, I agree with you that Russiagate was bullshit. I agree with all of that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, again, they're reacting to him. You know what I mean? Like in this extreme way.
They ran that from day one when he came in.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, him being in the picture makes them act this way, and it's never going to change.
Yeah.
That's why I want him out the picture, because they're never going to get out the picture. You understand what I'm trying to say?
But honestly, he gets out the picture, I have a feeling our country's going to fall.
Yeah, I think that's more of them telling us, that's them more being fearful, because I don't think Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are like, tear down, and Andrew Yang are gonna tear down the world. You know what I mean?
Hey, they've done it before. Socialism, man. I'm telling you.
I understand it, and I understand that. You know what I mean? Again, I would rather not vote for either one, but I'm making like a cultural vote for my.
You voted for Kanye?
No. No.
I just messed it.
I know. I never do that, man. I call it bipolar Jesus. I am voting for no bipolar Jesus.